Frogs win, frogs win. We did it, y'all. 2 wins in a row? What is this team? Who am I watching? Oh my gosh. So, if you're just now, you've been living under a rock all Saturday and you're hearing for the first time, TCU brought home the saddle, baby. TCU beats rival Texas Tech 35-34, rallied back from 11 points down. Who is this team? Is this 2022? Hello, what is happening here? A lot to get into, a lot to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me here on TCU Postgame Live. I am, of course, your host, the same host of the Biggest 12, it's me, Clint Foster. And thanks for tuning in here a little bit later, a little bit after the game. We've let it simmer. We've had some time to think about it. I had some time to go to Joe T's with a couple of friends who were in town. Hey, it's homecoming, man. You got to take advantage of all of the Frog fans that are coming into town to spend time together. And hey, enjoy a second straight win. 9-3 TCU. Who out there is starting to believe this could be a real thing? Listen, I am equally confident that TCU could win every single one of these games remaining on their schedule. And they could also lose every single one of these games remaining on their schedule. But let's get into it. Let's talk all about it. This is a call-in show. This is going to be the situation with TCU Postgame Live. I have shared in the chat the link to this stream. So if you would like to call in, if you would like to have your voice heard, please go right on ahead and do it. Put that link into your URL. You can share your camera or you don't have to share your camera, but we will get you into the show. We'll see what you have to think about this Frogs win over them Texas Tech Raiders. And James Irvin, welcome to the fold, sir. He is now a Frog fan. Yes, you're welcome here. We're happy to have you. Please do subscribe to the channel. As some of you are watching this on our new TCU dedicated channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, baby. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. We're not going to bite you. In fact, you're probably going to appreciate it once you do subscribe because we're going to have a lot more TCU content coming at you from yours truly. I mean, some people are asking, Clint, there's only so many hours in a day. How are you making all this content? I don't know. I think I'm going to go crazy. But you know what? I do know. I know that I love the Frogs and I know that I love y'all. And so we're going to get through this here together. 2 wins in a row, man. Can you even believe it? Listen, here's what I'm thinking. Well, we're waiting for y'all to, let me go ahead and as always, these TCU postgame shows, they're kind of stream of consciousness. They're kind of just like, we're here, we're vibing for about 15 to 20 minutes together, just talking about what we just went through. Do make sure that you subscribe. If not to the TCU, you should subscribe to the TCU channel. But if you haven't already, subscribe to the Big 12 channel as well. There it is, Big 12 at Big 12 BOCFB. That's what you want to hit the subscribe button for. That's what you want to hit the bell button for, the like button, all those good things. As we get talk our way through this Frogs victory. TCU was a touchdown favorite in this game. And if you tuned into the Big 12 on Tuesday, we were all thinking that was a little bit rich, right? We were all thinking maybe this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be one that the Frogs are going to have to gut out in order to win. And that was certainly the case. And here, that is the thing that I am most pleased with this team. 2 things that I'm very, very pleased with from TCU following this 35-34 win over Texas Tech, getting the saddle back in Fort Worth. Saddle up your horses. Hey, Stephen Curtis Chapman fans out there? Just me? Okay. 2 things I'm pleased with. One thing that I'm very pleased with is the fight in this team. This is something that we have not necessarily seen out of TCU all that often since 2022. You've been in a lot of situations where the Frogs get down, and then you're like, it feels like we're throwing in the towel. It feels like nobody is really giving it that extra oomph to try and get us over that hump there. But that quit was not there today. And maybe it was because it was a rivalry game. Maybe it was because we've turned a corner after the bye week. I don't know. But whatever it was, I was very happy to see it. That's one thing that I'm very happy with. I'm also fairly happy with our run defense. The TCU run defense and the defense, generally speaking, appears to have taken a pretty significant step. Is it on par with TCU defenses of the past? Absolutely not. We're still not there. We haven't even sniffed Gary Patterson era levels of defense. I ran into a lot of former player friends today, and their feelings were essentially the same. Like, man, it's just not what it was. But they did enough to win the game, and they were stopping the run fairly effectively, especially late in the game. You love to see that. But the things the things that I was concerned about with this team, those issues have not been absolved, right? All of our deficiencies, I feel no better about after this game than I did before the game. And that's something moving forward. That's why moving forward, I'm like, hey, could we beat Baylor and Cincinnati on the road? Could we beat Arizona? Absolutely, we could, but we could just as easily lose any of those games. Okay, we got our first call in. So excited about this. Okay, Caden the man, you are on the air on TCU Postgame Live. What are your thoughts on that saddle winning game here, this West Texas Championship today?
What's going on, Clint? It's Kay the man, former Ohio State University fan, now a University of Georgia fan.
Oof. One bandwagon to the other, I guess.
No, because I've been a Buckeye fan for all my life, and now Ohio State's not as I remember. That physical team, the team that everybody feared in the Big Ten, they've lost it. They've completely lost it. But enough.
Ohio State's lost it?
Yeah, they've lost that intimidation. They've lost that prowess. They've lost that fear almost. Georgia, on the other hand, has kept it. They've kept it going. And that's why I'm now announcing my commitment to the University of Georgia after
Exciting.
21 years of being with the Buckeyes.
I'm excited for you, Caden, man. What are your thoughts on this TCU game here tonight?
The TCU game tonight was unbelievable. I'll just say that was a showdown. I loved seeing. So, hey, and TCU is the team that went 12-0, beat Michigan in a bowl game, and pretty much made nobody see it else coming.
Yeah. Hey, I will never balk at an opportunity for a Fiesta Bowl mention. Absolutely. And I don't know if you intentionally use the word unbelievable, but I got the flying T on here today. Back in them Jim
I
Wacker
see
days.
you got the flying T on, which
Yes,
I
back in
give
those
the
Jim Wacker
TCU
days,
Horned Frogs
TCU
credit.
unbelievable. That was the tagline back then. And yeah, these frogs last 2 weeks looking pretty phenomenal, looking pretty fantastic. And yes, James Irvin, you are right. I am losing my voice. I do a lot of talking on the weekends, a lot of talking and not adequate hydrating. And this is what
Listen,
happened.
Clint, you're not losing your voice. Your voice just sounds fine, so you're fine.
Appreciate it, Caden. Appreciate it. What stood out to you from this game? I'm trying to get a
I think
sense
it's
of
just
why you
like
wanted to call
the
it.
energy brought between the fans. Like, TCU is a historic program, and that's not just a fact. It's 100%. And this game was meaning they needed to put it on the line for a bowl game appearance. This is Sonny Dykes, TCU Horned Frogs that he turned around within 1 year, brought all the special talent to TCU, and had one remarkable season. And now they're trying to build that back up. So hopefully, who knows, Big 12 champions soon and Navy National Championship appearance.
Hey, gas me up, Caden. I appreciate it. Yeah. But hey, you're not wrong. The Frogs sitting at 5-3 now. A bowl game is very much within reach. We were talking about on the show a couple days ago on the Biggest 12, a couple weeks ago on the Biggest 12.
I actually was just listening to that episode, actually. And the thing is, I mentioned this for the last 7 weeks of the college football season, maybe 8 weeks. I said the Big 12 is one of the special conferences in college football. Now, everybody knows Ohio State rules the Big 10. Well, that's kind of questionable. Georgia rules the SEC with just sheer dominance and fear, like we should. Excuse me. And Clemson is pretty much garbage because we destroyed them in the opening game. But to me, it's like the Big 12. I feel like there's more competition in the Big 12, honestly, that's just from me. TCU, I feel like they would have put up a better game against, my dogs, but, that clearly just showed defense can play better than offense. No disrespect to the Horned Frogs. I would have liked to see better touchdowns, but when you got a defense that can show up and play physical, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and TCU has that physicality has been improving here. That was one thing that TCU really liked last season was physicality, and it's been starting to evolve a little bit here in this second half of the season. And now the Frogs 1 game away from bowl eligibility. I mean, 6-6 is very within reach. 7-5 is very much within reach. 9-3 still very much within reach. And there's a lot of things from this TCU Tech game to be excited about. Very interesting. Savion Williams, your leading rusher from this game, 11 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. I did like that we saw more of Jeremy Payne. We saw more of Trent Battle. I love that. I do think, though, we need to lean a lot less on Savion Williams in that run game. I like him in certain situations, and I like, doing what you can to get the ball in his hand, but he's not a pure running back. We're trying to turn him into a Derrick Henry, and that's just not him. Also, our offensive line still left a lot to be desired in this game. That's another thing that I'm very still, I guess, frustrated with is the best.
What they need to do, Clint, is to switch out their running backs every so often to let each one of them get a turn to run the ball, but also switch your offensive lineman out because you don't want to injure the first part. Injure the major guys. Get the new guys in it and give them a little bit of time to get in there and get some work in. Give them time, but also switch your running back out so then you can make the defense think, okay, they got this one guy. Oh wait, they switched it to this guy. Oh wait, they switched to this guy. Oh wait, I can't keep count. I can't keep track. Who was the running back last? You know what I mean? Confuse them a little bit.
Yes. I do also love getting the ball in Eric McAllister's hands, even if it was only one reception. You saw what he did with that.
It was still good. It was still good.
Ousted. Yes, fantastic. Jack Besh getting involved in the game plan again. 4 catches for 77 yards with a long of 52. JP Richardson doing his thing. 4 important catches for 35 yards. But yeah, you're getting a lot more people involved in the run game. Jeremy Payne, Trent Battle, also Cam Cook, just only getting 1 carry, Cam Cook, in this game. And Josh Hoover, a little bit of a mixed bag from him. We saw a couple of very avoidable turnovers that really made this game quite uncomfortable there for a while, but he made plays when he had to. And that is, Josh Hoover's a very effective passer this year.
Sorry, Clint. I was just sorry. I thought I got something in my hand, but no, I'm good. But you know what? I feel like TCU in the next maybe year or two, give it 3 years. I feel like they can bring it up and they can really compete with like Iowa State, BYU, even the Mountaineers. Y'all play the Mountaineers soon, so I mean that's gonna be a battle.
Yeah, you're right, Caden. Appreciate you calling in, man.
And one more thing, there was a couple things I wanted to mention too. The Big 12 is a conference, and this is just out of my opinion, and I know Big 12 fans will probably jump on here and be like, but listen, hear me out, Big 12 fans, and this is just Georgia Bulldog fans speaking, okay?
A newly minted Georgia Bulldog fan, mind
you. Yeah, thanks, Clint. Honestly, the Big 12 I see giving, Georgia a little bit of problems. Now that's just because I feel like West Virginia could step up a little bit. Cincinnati could give us a problem, and even TCU could come back and give us some serious problems because they're starting to build up these rosters. And I'm saying the Big 12 could be the next powerhouse of college football soon, which I could say I'm pretty impressed with. And Clint, if anyone's interested, this Georgia Bulldog fan does have a YouTube channel. So Clint, if you do want to, feel free, check out my YouTube channel. I'll be posting more Georgia Bulldog content. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but no disrespect on my channel.
Go ahead and drop the ad, Caden. Where can people find you?
It's at Caden the Man 614, the most evil Georgia Bulldog fan on the internet. Trash talking every single college football fan base. Only those that I respect, I don't trash talk. And the only conference I don't trash talk is the Big 12 because I see a lot of promising competition, but yet I really don't think Miami and Pitt could be a problem, but I really don't guarantee it. Army and Navy, we'll have to see, but unless Navy comes back after that Notre Dame loss and just whips somebody. Possibly, but the Big 12 is what I'm really concerned about in the next 2-3 years. That could really foil some of my. Let's see. Who do I play on the schedule? Nobody, 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 nobody. Playoff round, so nobody, nobody, nobody. Seriously, I got nobody on my schedule, on the rest of my schedule here on the Georgia Bulldogs schedule that could give you a threat. Let's be honest, Ole Miss is not a threat.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hey, appreciate you calling in, Caden. I'm going to go ahead
Hey,
and
by the
talk
way,
about that. So,
I hope to see TCU in the playoffs once again to actually put up some real points. And
now we put up
who's
points
that
against Michigan.
coming
Okay, we
down the
put up points
track?
against Michigan.
It's the mean, the sheen, and the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go
Yeah.
dogs, go dogs, go dogs, sick 'em.
And there he goes. All right. So yeah, appreciate you calling in, Caden. Y'all, this is a call-in show. So yes, if you want to be like Caden, you want to get on the show, come on, plug that link into the URL. We'll get you on here. Yeah, but Caden, I think hit on something there. You know, you talk about everybody wants to just kind of assume that the SEC, oh yeah, 4 automatic bids from the SEC. The SEC is the best conference. I'm not so sure that they are anymore, right? There's a lot more parity in the Big 12. Certainly, the Big 12 is a more entertaining league than any other league because anybody can beat anybody on any given Saturday. That's why we've got BYU and Iowa State leading the league right now, right? Doing outstanding stuff. And as Brownie brought up on the show 2 weeks ago on the Biggest 12, Texas Tech might very well be fraudulent, right? They're 2 losses to in-state rivals in a row, right? And all of a sudden, things are looking very doubtful in Raiderland. But hey, this isn't a Texas Tech show tonight. This isn't a Georgia Bulldogs show. This is a TCU show, and the vibes are, I would say, the vibes are adequate. Right? So let me know if you disagree with me or if you agree with me. I feel like it's like, I'm feeling good. We got that win. That was a tough win, very exciting one to get. It's always a good week whenever you beat a Baylor, a Tech, or a Texas, right? We love that, or an SMU for that matter. That's not a given anymore either. But again, like I was saying before, the deficiencies with this team, the things that you were worried about going into this game, you feel no better about, right? A lot of head scratching offensive play calls in this game, for example. A lack of being able to run the ball consistently, right? And some of that is just not attempting to run the ball in certain situations when you should. And some of that is also the offensive line just not performing up to snuff. I would say that this is one of the more concerning games from the offensive line as a whole that we saw, because not only were they not satisfactory in the run game, they were not great in the pass game either, which usually our offensive line has been serviceable in the pass game, and that was not the case here today. Tech was able to put some pressure on Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover made a lot of poor decisions, led to a lot of turnovers, and that's part of the reason why this game became so uncomfortable. Frogs jumped out to an early lead. Right? There's a 14-3 lead at the end of the first quarter, and then Tech claws back. Before you know it, we're sitting there looking at a 34, I think it was 34-14, if I remember correctly. Do some quick math here. 28, 31-14 early on in the second half. And Frogs had to fight and claw and scratch to get back. And everything that you needed to go your way went your way there at the end of the game. You truly do have to give a lot of credit to the defense in this game for the last 2 games, because the offense, what was such a explosive offense for the first 3 games of the season, has really regressed to the mean here. And now that the defense has stepped up, that's what's allowed us to be in these last 2 games. The game ball for Utah entirely goes to the defense. And I think a lot of credit needs to go to the defense for this Texas Tech game as well. Getting that fumble there late in the game when Texas Tech is driving to try and get that field goal to take the lead. Massive. You really can't say enough good things. And shutting down Taj Brooks. I mean, let's look at Taj. Okay, so shutting down is not right. Taj Brooks, 30 carries for 121 yards and a touchdown, but 30 carries, right? Tech was like, we know where our bread's buttered, and credit to Tech. I mean, if Kansas gives Devin Neal 30 carries, Kansas might win that game against us. 30 carries for 121. That's average of 4 yards per carry. So, you give a guy that many touches, he's going to get his yards, especially if he's as good as Taj Brooks. But 4 yards per carry average, I'm pretty pleased with that as a TCU fan. The defense has come a long way, and I'm really happy with what Andy Avalos, considering the circumstances and considering 3 losses on the year so far. I'm very happy with the grit of this team. I'm very happy with the desire to win that I'm seeing from this team, and I'm very happy with what the defense has been able to do and tightening itself up against some very great weapons like Taj Brooks. It's worth saying Baron Morton left early on in this game, and we saw mostly Will Hammond, so that did play into into our favor, I should say. But it's worth mentioning that last week TCU stopped the run, yes, finally, but you could say, well, they weren't worried about the pass. It was a true freshman quarterback, right? But now you got Barry Morton coming into town, and the defense, when worrying about the pass and the run, they did really effective. They did a really great job, and I'm not snorting my nose at 34 points allowed. A win is a win, and Frogs did what they had to do to win. I'm very, very pleased with that. Let's see if there's anything else I can bring up about this game. We can actually, let's do this. Let's see let's check in on some post game comments, see what analysis we can dip at. I'm gonna go to Twitter right now and see if I can catch up on what Sonny Dykes had to say. Bum, 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 bum. All right. We'll just go through a few of these quotes and then we'll call it a night. Josh Hoover. So this is Jamie Plunkett's Twitter account. He's a great follow. Follow Jamie Plunkett at Frog Preacher. If you're a TC fan and you're not following him, I don't know what you're doing, honestly. He's got some post-game quotes for us here. So Josh Hoover gives credit to McAllister's touchdown to Jeremy Payne, who picked up a blitzer on the play to keep Hoover from getting hit. That is huge, right? And that is one thing that I've been wondering about concerning the snaps that Trent Battle and Jeremy Payne are getting. Well, maybe they just feel like Cam Cook is a better pass blocker in practice. But that's very encouraging to know, hey, Jeremy Payne, true freshman, he's able to pick up a blitz there, reading linebackers inside out, right? As an offensive line coach, I know all about that. So, yeah, that's great. That's encouraging for him for the future because give me more Jeremy Payne. If it ain't Jeremy Payne and Trent Battle, I don't want it. Right? I tweeted that earlier. Okay. We're making a lot of mistakes. It's still not great football. This is Sonny Dykes. We're making a lot of mistakes. It's still not great football, but we're playing hard. We're going to have to play better if we want to make any noise. I think that is a great quote. Right? I think he sums up perfectly the situation, the state of TCU football right now. And that's certainly a much more. I like it when Sonny Dykes is honest. I don't like it when he's honest and he says, I have no idea what just happened and I don't know what the answer is. That I don't like. But this is the type of thing that I like from him because it's like, yes, we all see this. We all feel this. We're glad that we're on the same page. The Frogs are making a lot of mistakes. A lot of that, I mean, some of it's execution, certainly, right? As a coach, you can tell a player something until you're blue in the face. You can lead a horse to water. You can't necessarily make him drink, right? But, some of this, the onus is on coaching. We got to, figure out how we're going to reach these kids to make sure they're not making these same mistakes over and over again. And I agree, it is not great football, but we are playing hard. And I do love to see that. You cannot, if there is one thing you absolutely can say about this TCU performance tonight, the Frogs played hard. They played till the last whistle. And they were going to do everything that they possibly could to win this game. And boy, how do you love it. Here's another Sonny Dykes quote for us. We're so darn streaky at times offensively. We just have to continue to get better. Yes, that is also true. We had some great drives and some complete duds of drives. Eric McAllister continues to make big plays for us when we need him. Put the ball in that boy's hands some more, right? Azel's finest, Eric McAllister, the Boise State transfer. He can make big plays for you. I feel like every single time we have given him the ball in the game, he has made a big play. Kansas, Texas Tech. It's escaping me, but he very well might have made a play at Utah. I can't remember quite. But this dude makes plays. He's a big play threat. Get the ball in his hands more. I love it. Dyke says TCU did a good job hanging in there defensively, which gave them a chance to come back. That's absolutely true. I agree with that. Well, there's another Sonny Dykes quote. Well, that's a heck of a football game. We were fortunate to come out on the good end of it. It was not pretty. Yep. That about sums it up. That about sums it up, Sonny. And that about sums it up for me. Right? We're feeling great. And I've said it once. If I've said it once, I'll say it 100 more times. If you can use your time machine to come back and talk to me right now, first of all, you need to make better use of your time machine. This is some earth-shattering technology. Second of all, if you came back and said to me, yeah, Clint, TCU is going to finish this season 9-3. After this point, okay, I believe you. We're on the upswing. Things are looking good. But on that same point, if you came back to me and say, Clint, TCU is going to finish 5-7, I'd be like, yeah, I believe you. Baylor's on the upswing. We got to go to Baylor. Cincinnati's a pretty daggone. Cincinnati is getting slept on so stinking bad in this conference. We got to go to Cincinnati in November. Yeah, we can lose that game. We got to play Arizona at home. Yeah, we can lose that game. Oklahoma State, you say, oh, no, you'll definitely beat Oklahoma State. They're terrible. Well, I mean, yeah, they got quarterback problems, but Ollie Gordon's still great, right? And TCU's biggest weakness this season has been stopping the run. And if they give Ollie Gordon the ball 35 times, I mean, it could easily be a win or a loss. But that's also why this conference is so entertaining, right? And that's why we want to talk about it. That's why we want to watch it. That Frog got the win. Yes, pretty accurate. TCU shocked me with the ability to come back. They shocked me too, man. They shocked me too in the best way. I'm like, is it 2022? What is going on here, brother? I am here for it. Okay. Frogs got the win. And that's all I've got to say about it. That's the long and the short of it. Folks, thanks for tuning in to TCU Postgame Live. Landon almost had a heart attack at the end of the game. Yeah, you and me both, brother. I was not sure how that one was going to turn out, but it turned out in our favor. Frogs win 35-34. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, and remember, every single one of these TCU Postgame Lives, it's going to be a call-in show. So if you want to be like Caden and want to have your chance to say your piece, preferably it's TCU focused. But, hey, we'll welcome all comers. This is we're a family here. We're just gathering around the fire and having a little chat about some college football. So keep that in mind in the future. We'll be doing this every single night after the game. Sometimes sooner after the game than others. It'll probably take me longer to get to the computer after a home game. I'm just being completely honest with you. But subscribe to the show. Like the show. Also, subscribe to at Big 12 VOCFB. That's where I do the biggest 12 every Tuesday night. It's a Big 12 centric show, and we will have a lot to talk about this week. So you will definitely want to be there. I'll also have some great guests lined up. But until then, I have been Clint Foster. Please do follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. Follow my YouTube channel at Clint Foster Comedy. Hopefully I'll have time. I'm planning to try and put together a 2 for TCU fans episode for y'all, Utah and Texas Tech. But the schedule's a little complicated right now. I have started production on my documentary, Remember the Alamo Bowl. Did my first shooting yesterday, and I've got a studio rented tomorrow to do a bunch of interviews for it. So I am going to be in the studio all day tomorrow. So obviously that's putting a damper on my ability to produce comedy sketches for the comedy channel. But hang with me. Hopefully I'll have some time. Hopefully I'll get something out there for you. Until then, go Frogs, baby. We won. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Go Frogs.